Alrighty.
All right. Welcome back to the Demented Collective. As always, I'm Gary.
I'm Dave.
And today we are doing Godzilla, the 2014 film.
Yep. The world is beset by the appearance of monstrous creatures, but one of them may be the only one who can save humanity.
Dun, dun, dun.
Directed by Gareth Edwards. Folks might know him from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. He directed that.
Okay.
And a movie called Monsters from 2010. Did you ever see that? I think it's like they're down in Mexico, and like the world's over.
Oh, yeah.
They
did
the
a sequel to it called Monsters Dark Continent.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I have heard of it. It's actually on my list.
Written by Dave Callahan. He did Shang-Chi and Spider-Man Across the Universe. He wrote those.
Good films.
Max Borstein. He's involved in one way or another with the Monsterverse. From this point on. He was involved with Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay, which those of you that are probably, I guess, not in the know, which, I mean, if you're a fan of of kaiju style films, probably aware of this, but the Monsterverse is, I think it was, owned by Toho. I'm getting here. Legendary Pictures, Warner Brothers, blah, blah, blah. Just to go past. The new setting of it was you've got Godzilla, the one we're reviewing, 2014, starting with it.
Okay.
And the latest entry in it was the recently released Godzilla Kong, The New Empire.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
To me, the latest release was, as of the time of this recording, to me, in my head, I'm thinking Godzilla -1.
Oh, that one is so this is the Monsterverse is referred to as as the American one.
Okay.
The Godzilla -1 is part of a different like it's owned by
it's foreign.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
It's Japan.
I want to say
Toho.
I don't even think it's related to Shin Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe
because I've heard I have yet to see it and I really want to review it. The -1.
Mm-hmm. I've
heard they won an Oscar.
Oh, it was. I think they said this is the first Godzilla film to actually ever win any awards.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
because
since 1954.
Yeah, so for in ages, and on top of that, that's one of the other things they did. So these ones in the Monsterverse, a lot of it actually takes place in more modern times, where Godzilla -1 is going back more to the roots of the original Godzilla, after World War II or around that time frame, I believe. If I'm mistaken, feel free to correct me in the comments, because I'm getting back into the
Now, you know who else got a writing credit on this?
Who?
Ishiro Honda, the creator. He's basically the father of Godzilla.
Okay, yeah. Awesome.
That's cool. He died in 1993. But they gave him credit.
Homage to, tribute to the godfather of Godzilla.
Right. Stars Aaron Taylor Johnson as Ford Brody. What's he from?
One thing that I enjoy about this is, he played Quicksilver in Avengers, Age of Ultron.
The sister of Quicksilver is Scarlet Witch.
Played by Elizabeth Olsen, who plays his wife in this.
Yeah. So that's a fun little connection there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Age of Ultron came out a year after this.
Yeah, which is why I think they did that, because comic book lore in Marvel, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, which were originally mutants, and part of the X-Men franchise type stuff. They actually had allegedly in some timelines had a somewhat incestuous relationship, and so that's why. Yeah. So
this is Marvel.
Yeah, the comic books.
Marvel, you sick sons of. All right.
The comic books were weird, man.
Okay.
Weird.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. I know him best as Kick-Ass.
He's Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't he get in trouble for knocking up a producer or something when he was a kid? Or when he was like underage or something?
What? No, I don't know.
Oh, no, I just heard he got in some...
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I read something ages ago, but I was younger, like he was.
Yeah, he was Kick-Ass in 1 and 2. He's Kick-Ass.
I forgot about that. I almost didn't recognize him because,
he's older and built now. And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like in Kick-Ass 2. I'm bummed.
It's a couple years after. Yeah, exactly. Bryan Cranston as Joe Brody, father of Ford Brody, Kick-Ass. Everyone knows Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, Malcolm in the Middle. That's all I need to say. Everyone knows.
Exactly. And if you don't, bro, it's Bryan freaking Cranston.
Now, did you notice he was wearing a wig in this?
I didn't, but it makes sense because I'm pretty sure this was still going on when
they were probably filming this. So Breaking Bad ended in 13.
Mm-hmm.
So they were probably filming this in 13.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. So his hair would have been short and
probably finished wrapping up
I feel like
Breaking Bad and then went right over to...
It started growing out at the end of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He started growing it back out. So everyone knows Bryan Cranston. Ken Watanabe, I only got 4 of the stars in this. The ones that...
The big ones?
The big ones. Ken Watanabe as Dr. Ishiro Serizawa. The Last Samurai. With Tom Cruise.
Dude, yeah, I knew I recognized him.
Inception. Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Oh, yeah, he returns. He's, I think,
I really like this guy. Whenever I see him.
Yeah, he's the only actor, I think, from this, of the main cast, that are, at least of these 3 so far that we've mentioned, or all of these 4, because obviously Bryan Cranston, spoiler alert, we'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
As always, spoiler alerts, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, etc., etc.
Yeah, what are we doing next week? So that way, if you subscribe, you won't miss it. We're doing the twists.
Yeah, twist endings.
The twist endings, the best twist endings in horror movie. What's the best? We're going to find out next week.
Exactly. But he is the only actor of these 4 that actually returns in King of Monsters.
Oh, okay.
Which part of it is because I think some of the things that were said was the Brody family. Some people felt their characters didn't get developed enough to really demerit. Whereas, Watanabe as his character. His character actually did have a lot more. You find out backstory. His character is pretty well fleshed out. It was more fleshed out than the other ones, I'd say.
I like the way... I just like the way the guy acts.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that deep voice. He's very serious. Godzilla will save us. And that sort of thing. I love the way he presents things when he talks.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah. Want to dive into this thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
It's got that 50s feel at the beginning.
Yeah, because which makes sense because it takes place.
They're kind of setting up.
Yeah.
History type of thing. Mm-hmm. Nukes going off and all that.
Oh yeah.
I like when nukes go off in movies. That's fun.
We'll end that part there.
I said movies, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Just making sure. Movies.
Anyway.
I'm sticking with movies.
Yeah, movies. Fictional. Fallout.
Oh, okay. Hope I didn't say
the TV series and video games.
Okay. I was thinking the Ben Affleck movie and Morgan Freeman, where the nuke goes off at the Super Bowl or whatever it is. Something about the end. I don't know. Anyways.
It's the end.
If you know what it is, let me know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So they're doing an excavation. Obviously, there's a kaiju that escaped. Moving on.
Yeah.
There's a lot to this. It's a long movie and it jumps around a lot, so we're kind of going to speed through.
It hints at something breaks out of a giant cocoon,
right?
Drags itself out, and then Bryan Cranston and his wife and their son. Well, no, the son is at school.
He's at school, yeah.
Yeah, but Bryan Cranston's wife, who work at a nuclear plant.
Yeah, they're yep.
They go, and the wife goes to check on the reactor, only for an earthquake to, unfortunately, cause a leak, I believe.
Everything just starts going to crap.
It hits the fan hard. And this scene, honestly, was kind of emotional. When it starts opening up, it was a good introduction on this because Bryan Cranston's literally standing at the edge of this hallway.
Okay, before we get to this, did you notice that his wife had the same haircut as him?
She did have a bit of a shorter pixie-ish
It was almost identical. In one of the shots, somebody didn't do her hair. She looked homeless. So
I think it's probably. Oh no, I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's because she's like, oh, she's a scientist. She works out hard. Like
I
she
can see
needs
that.
something
Yeah.
quick and easy. She didn't have time to sit there and mess with her
Yeah,
hair.
she's not worried about her looks, that sort of thing. Okay, okay.
She's people
I'll give it. That's
or
cool.
something. I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, she did have a shorter hair, which for that time frame, because the events of this take place 15 years
This was
prior.
99.
Yeah.
So this would have been 99.
And I don't think women with
film.
short hair was common in the 90s. Or late
It
90s.
was.
It was?
Yeah.
I must have blacked out a lot of the 90s.
The pixie haircut, quote unquote.
Oh, yes.
That was pretty popular.
That is true.
I think Alyssa Milano had it at one point.
A lot of the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That is true. So that's probably why they did it, too.
She had it in Double Dragon. Alyssa Milano had the pixie haircut in Double Dragon in like 94.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
But, so he's standing...
Why do I know that?
Because you have a thing for Alyssa Milano. Not nearly as much as Linnea Quigley.
Kiss of the Vampire, man, if you haven't seen it. Yep. Anyways.
It's just hitting the fan.
Yep.
Bryan Cranston standing at the end of this hallway.
There we go.
Ready to push the button to seal off the reactor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's technically the term, not reactor. The core.
Yeah, sure.
The radiation link. And waiting for his wife, and the scientist says they're running as fast as they can. And then, all of a sudden, heartbreaking moment.
Well, he sees the smoke stuff coming down the long hallway.
Yeah.
But he doesn't see any people.
Just close it. Just close it, honey.
Right.
Protect Ford. Or something like that.
Yeah, the boy, their son.
There's just that emotional sequence when he has to, and then his wife gets there, and they just... that honestly, good opening it was, but...
Yeah, it hooks you.
Oh, yeah. And then, without alluding to whatever the hell caused all that shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then...
It's Japan, so is it an earthquake? Who knows?
But one of the people says that, it can't be an earthquake. Earthquakes are, sporadic. They spike. They did. This is constant, like... Mm-hmm. And then, flash forward 15 years. Mm-hmm. Little Ford Brody's all grown up.
Yeah, comes home to L.
Just like Kick-Ass.
He's in the Navy.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason that he's in the Navy.
Bomb disposal.
The United States Marine Corps declined to participate after their experience in the 1998 TriStar film of Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Was that the one that a lot of people complained about?
And still do. Yes.
That's
the one. So the Marines were like, you screwed us in 98. We're not doing this. So the Navy stepped up and was like, all right, cool. I mean, aren't the Marines like they're kind of a division of the Navy?
They work hand in hand. They are, but they do. Well, all the branches will, run joint exercise. I'm sure, but but the Marines are their own branch that do the other thing, that do their own thing, but they do work with the Navy. Just like the Air Force would technically work with the Navy for their launch.
Well, the Navy has their own Air Force.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't know as much about... We support the troops.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we'll just put that because
you just made me think of the Family Guy one, where it's a Family Guy episode. This is from Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
So someone walks in, and they overhear someone, like an executive from Hollywood, saying, "You know what? I don't support the troops." Because everyone always says I support the troops. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, no. You know what I mean. Anywho.
If I can find the clip, I'll put it.
Yeah. They...
Okay, he just got off duty. He's going
home.
Yep.
His son and his wife / sister from another film.
His hot wife.
Oh, yeah. No, it was funny because right before I watched this, I was given Christian crap. And we were joking. He's like, you know what, Garrett? The only ass I'd ever eat would be Elizabeth Olsen's.
Okay. Really?
And that's what he said. He might have been joking. I don't know. If she's into that, I can get you her number. His number.
Yeah. Elizabeth, if you're watching us for some weird reason, I don't know why you would.
Right.
Yeah. We'll hook you up. We know a guy. Because you need the help?
I don't know. But he said that, probably half joking, probably might be, I don't know. I don't judge, I don't kink shame, whatever. Anyways, but it's funny, he said that before I even put this movie on, and then I ended up watching this film, and then...
I feel like this video is going to turn out to us just talking about how hot she is. Oh, speaking of Elizabeth Olsen. Dude, did you ever see Silent House?
Yeah.
2011, where she's
Wait.
at home and it's like a haunted house kind of thing.
Okay, I was thinking Deep House for a second. No, I didn't. Isn't that like a remake of a foreign film?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was. It was a remake, and the film
It's
literally
pretty good,
came out 1 year earlier.
It's not bad.
Oh yeah. No, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
In fact, most people actually think of the one that she's in over the original Silent House. So give me 1 second. Yeah, hers was the 2011. In fact, if you Google it, probably because we're in the U.S. If you Google Silent House, it's the one that comes up immediately. It's the one she's in, the 2011 one.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a remake of a Uruguayan film, La Casa Muda, which literally also translates to The Silent House from 2010.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of
it's worth checking out if you like Elizabeth Olsen. But let's
move
move on.
Love Elizabeth.
Let's
Olsen.
move on with the movie though. We're getting sidetracked with Elizabeth Olsen.
Right.
Ford is trying to get down with Elle because he's been away for 14 months.
Get down.
And they get a phone call.
Get down, dude. I'd be pissed.
His dad, Joe, Bryan Cranston, has been arrested. So he flies to Japan for some reason. Why would you fly to Japan?
Oh,
Just like wire the money or something.
right. By the way, I just want to point out a fun little fact. Never mind.
Okay.
Fun little thing. Jared Keeso, who plays, if you're a fan of this series, Shorzy, as well as Wayne in Letterkenny and Shorzy.
Okay.
He plays the Jump Master in this Godzilla, and I believe he did have an uncredited role in the '98 Godzilla as well.
Did you hear that?
Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker.
Okay, whatever. I'll tell you what I did later.
Did you fart?
No.
Oh.
It's editing, man.
Oh.
I'm going to put something in there.
Oh, to cover up your fart?
No.
Anyhow, but yeah.
Okay, so Joe and Ford. So Ford gets him out of prison or jail or whatever. Joe's this conspiracy guy about it's something. He doesn't know what it is, but it's something. And they go into the quarantine zone. I really like the look of this quarantine zone, like for apocalyptic style kind of thing. You know, everything's wiped out and
I mean, it looks
decimated. I think it looks cool. I like the way it looked. Actually, in this entire movie, their decimation of zones, areas, and cities, I really like the way it looks. It's well
they
done.
nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, the effects in this film are fantastic.
Yeah.
For more, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, I don't know how much, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it is CGI.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah.
But
I mean, no, they actually went into San Francisco and started knocking down buildings.
You know what I mean. This is because I accuse you of
I wouldn't care, but whatever.
Yeah, what? You wouldn't care that San Francisco got destroyed?
Most of America wouldn't, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyways, but I mean, it's good CGI. And again, coming from someone who is, if you've seen our channels before, I prefer practical effects over CGI any given day of the week.
Agree.
But this CGI it's CGI done.
It's done well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially later on with the
with the fighting and everything. So where are we at now? They get picked up by the military.
Yeah. He goes over to Japan. He picks them. Oh yeah, they get in. He gets picked up. They get picked up. And then of course Bryan Cranston. I'm just gonna refer to him as Bryan Cranston instead of his character because Bryan Cranston is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that man. I grew up with Malcolm in the Middle. How was my role model to be what the kind of dad I'd want to be? Probably because my dad is also kind of like Hal.
There you go.
Anyhow,
so when do we get to see a monster? Can we see a monster yet?
No, they get picked up by the military. I
just want to see a monster.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like if you're watching a Godzilla movie, you know what you're watching the Godzilla movie for. It's the kaiju.
Right.
Like I mean, it's the same reason. Like when you're a kid and you're watching Power Rangers. There's two reasons you watch Power Rangers. You want to see the big ass robots, or you want to see the big ass monsters.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Same thing for the.
We're basically at the monster. Let's just jump to the monster.
Yeah. Okay. So they get picked up. The cocoon starts acting up. They try to destroy it. Boom.
Yeah. Monster
Monster
time.
And what monster is this?
Tell me.
It's the Muto. Excuse me.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, the Muto, not Mothra, which I initially was like, oh, is that Mothra? No, it's the Muto. It's a completely different species. Mothra doesn't make an appearance until King of the Monsters.
And this is what it was like MOT.
MUTO.
Okay.
Which stood for Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organism.
Okay.
But of course, one of them becomes
Couldn't that be anything?
extraterrestrial because, I mean,
Aerial. One becomes aerial.
yeah, which it could. I mean, it's a term for, I guess you could say, similar kaiju. So I guess yes, it's a massive unidentified.
I thought that was the term for the group, the government group that was tracking them down and killing them.
They're monarch.
Oh,
Or something like that.
I got you. Okay, you're right.
But Muto, yeah, it's.
If we're wrong, let us know.
Yeah, feel free to chime in and let us know
absolutely.
because we do. We actually appreciate information. We're into learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I want to know about this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a dork when it comes to movies.
Same.
I have to stick it in here.
But I think it's like the same as when they would say like UFO. It's an unidentified flying object.
Right.
It's
not
this
anymore.
is
They call it like a UAP or something like that.
Yeah. Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
So.
Lame.
But this is so. I guess that's the same thing. It's a giant organism, massive organism that we have no idea what the hell it is.
Right, and it starts tearing shit up.
Yeah. So I guess you could say it's the English translation of what a kaiju is. Because kaiju is Japanese or.
Oh, okay.
So
I immediately went to Gorgon when you said English. Okay, so have you seen Gorgon?
No.
It's a British kaiju movie.
Oh.
Yeah. And it storms. It's this giant monster that storms London and destroys London, and then that's what it was just looking for his baby that got kidnapped.
Of course.
It was made in the 70s, I think. It's not good. It was on Mystery Science Theater. If you've seen it. Anyways.
Oh yeah, that right there should tell you everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah.
Monster starts tearing shit up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to that.
And then they come to find out there's more, and it's like, oh shit, they're trying to meet with each other and.
Well, Bryan Cranston dies.
Oh yeah, so,
he's only in this for 20 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, so as shit hits the
that
fan,
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh yeah, and then
this was my first time seeing it. I saw it today.
Mr. Watanabe, Ken Watanabe, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watanabe.
Watanabe.
I think. Hold on. Watanabe.
Yeah, I thought it was Watanabe.
Okay.
First name's Ken, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. I was afraid I was messing that up.
Sarazawa. Dr. Sarazawa is his character name.
Yeah, but those actors we actually like, so
That's true.
He's like.
If I like the actor, I like to refer to them by their real name.
Yeah, because I mean, there are some. We'll get into that in another video probably, but military's like, okay, we need to take these motherfuckers out. Who do you need? He turns around. He sees Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's like, I need them. And they're like, okay. And then unfortunately, Bryan Cranston dies right there.
He
and
dies.
Tells him, Aaron Taylor Johnson, last words is like pretty much, spend time with your family.
Now, we missed some foreshadowing. You skipped over it.
Oh, yeah.
About Ford and his job in the Navy.
Oh yeah, because we did that. We skipped way over that back when after he bails out Cranston.
Right.
But because Cranston accuses his son somewhat of, I guess there's a little bit of anonymity there, or animosity, where he's like, oh, how's the bomb business going on? He's like, I don't make bombs, I disarm them.
And he says the specific name of what he does. And it's the guys who go in and disarm bombs that they find.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
it's kind of like if you've ever seen The Hurt Locker, featuring Jeremy Renner, which
Marvel tie-in.
Hear that he's doing better.
Good.
Right. So, and by the way, Hurt Locker, fantastic film if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, check that. Joe heads to San Francisco by way of Honolulu, Hawaii. So he stops off in Honolulu.
Joe, or you mean Ford?
Ford, the young one.
Johnson.
Joe's dead. Yes. Kick ass.
Yeah.
He's in Honolulu.
Yeah.
And the monsters eat nuclear radiation. There you go, radiation.
Which.
So the monsters chowing down on a nuclear sub. It's still a Russian nuke sub because they're powered by nuclear power now. Although not all of them, but some of them.
A lot of them, they're powered by radiation, and from my understanding, a lot of the resources, or some resources, some of them actually emit a crazy amount of radiation.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially I'll get into.
You're in a cigar tube full of radiation, I would think. Yeah. Underwater. That doesn't sound safe. Huh.
No. But yeah, so they're chowing down and they're, going on and doing their thing, monster thing, and they're trying to figure out how to stop these things because, last thing, because they figure out that they're trying to.
Yeah, the two bad monsters are trying to bone, so they make a bunch more. You right there?
Yeah.
All right.
I was just, never mind.
Okay. All right.
I wasn't imagining kaiju porn.
Then what? Now I am.
And now the rest of you are probably too.
All right. All right, what happens next? This is going off the rails, dude. I love this. This is good. Okay. We're in Honolulu. What happens? Tell me.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
Johnson also means wiener.
Yeah, it does.
No offense to you, Aaron Taylor Johnson. You're a really good actor.
Kick ass.
Yeah, you're a kick-ass actor.
There we go.
He, I believe, pretty much, volunteers to assist the military fight off monsters, essentially.
Yeah, he keeps, in multiple scenarios, I can do it. I'm a lieutenant in the Navy.
Instead of, even though his dad's last words are, spend time with your family.
Right. His wife's waiting for him. He told her, I'll come get you.
Yeah, and instead he's like, it's kind of like a catch-22. Okay, go spend time with your family.
Or save the world.
Or, because you're the only one that that can...
Yeah, disarm this thing.
Yeah, so he keeps doing it. So he's doing it for his family, probably. Just
we haven't
insert a
gotten to
clip
the
of Vin Diesel saying family right there, I guess.
Yeah. No, that was... Yeah, okay. That was an advertising campaign, that meme.
Family.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of the memes you see are advertising campaigns made by marketing professionals.
We're not getting into those conspiracy theories.
Oh, that's not a... oh. All right.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Back to Godzilla.
Yeah. And actually, no, it's back to the Muto.
What? Oh, yeah, right. Because he's kicking ass in Honolulu now. Yeah, that's right. He does his EMP. So they can set off EMPs by, stomping their feet.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Right,
I really like that.
Oh, yeah, these monsters are giant bioweapons.
I like that it shuts down modern technology. Oh, my cell phone. I can just use my cell phone. It's kind of a modern day horror trope that, why didn't they just call them their cell phone? Something like that.
This one,
they took care of that with the EMP.
Yeah, these things are literally giant biological,
And one guy says the payphones don't even work.
Which saying the EMP is so strong it wipes out the grid.
It jacks something up, yeah. Because I know in Day After Tomorrow, the movie, they explain that the payphones still work because they're run on a centralized something or other. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. In fact, this is...
and I wonder if that's true. I didn't look into it.
This is supposed to be true. Actually, something that I learned for our job, talking to our boss, he said that one thing, if you have a... So, for our houses, we technically should have a actual hardwired in landline, because even if the power goes out, because the landlines are on a different, separate server,
right,
we can still, for emergencies, get.
I was wondering about that
landline.
Well, we have radios and all that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, they don't care about our work. So.
Well, that's a fun little fact.
Let's take.
The more you know.
The more you know. Let's take a quick break. Be right back. Rolling.
Oh. And welcome back.
So Hawaii gets destroyed.
Again.
Again?
No, I'm assuming.
I don't know. We're not going into history.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's,
now we go out to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently they were storing a ton of radioactive materials like right outside of Vegas because one of the soldiers looks through binoculars and sees Vegas in the distance. There's no way that stuff's that close to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think
They
so.
store that stuff in mountains in the middle of nowhere that no one's going to think to look.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, even if you...
My grandpa was involved in that, so
Well,
that's
yeah,
how I know
because
that
they
stuff.
don't want it just slipping into
He's
people's
dead.
wrong hands and other things like that. Well, yeah, it makes sense, like, because the life on that before it becomes... Because you can't just blow it up.
Right.
You know, and the life on it before, like the half-life, I guess is the term, or whatever, when it becomes non-radioactive or the radiation levels are good enough to not, you know, turn our brains into pudding.
Right.
Like...
Well, anyways, they did it for the movie.
Yeah.
Monster, Vegas. Destroys Vegas. Love it. Awesome scene. I like
Right?
it.
Dude,
I always like watching Vegas get destroyed.
Well, just scenes where, like, the scenes in general where, like, stuff gets just...
Destruction
wrecked,
scenes are really
destroyed,
fun.
yeah.
That's true. Maybe it's a
Exactly.
guy thing. I just like seeing stuff blow up and fall apart. And
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Like, it's just one of those things. Guys fall under most categories. You know, you like to see stuff get destroyed. You like to, you know...
Yeah.
Like explosions.
Fire. Fire's good.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
You know, you got occasionally, you know, the car guys, which honestly, I mean, the car explodes. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like fire. Michael Bay.
Military. Yeah, Michael Bay. Military wants to nuke the monsters by drawing them out into the water 20 miles out to sea and following the nuke to try to get the energy from it.
Yeah. And Mr. Watanabe, you know, Ken Watanabe is like, are you freaking crazy? They feed on radiation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and then the guy is like, well, this thing isn't what hit, you know, what we used back in the 50s. We've advanced way beyond that. It makes it look like a firecracker.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Right. Lone Pine, California. Okay, so Lone Pine is 3.5 hours north of Los Angeles. If you go east, you're in Death Valley. If you go north, you're in Yosemite. No one knows where Lone Pine is, so that's why I pointed it out. So they're in Lone Pine. Ford has joined up now. He's back with units and doing stuff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're on a train with a nuke, transporting it to the coast. Monster time.
Dun, dun, dun.
The best part, like, okay, so this movie can be, in my opinion, non-monster time, monster time. Like,
Yeah.
I like the monster stuff, and then it's just kind of filler until the monster
Let's
stuff.
be honest. I mean,
It's all about the kaiju.
yeah,
It's fun.
If you're watching a Godzilla film again, like or films like this, what are you watching it for?
The monsters.
The monsters.
Yeah.
It's the same reason people watch the freaking slasher films. It's the same reason.
You want to see the kills. Yeah.
You watch the slasher films. You watch your Gornos. You watch your, you know, like, you know, or, you know, like if you're going to, you know, watch your Fast and Furious films, you're watching the crazy ass car stunts. Like, that's what you want to see. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Transformers or any Michael Bay movie, you're watching it because things explode.
So they're on a train. The guys check out ahead of the track. The train comes rolling in on fire. That was a cool scene.
Oh yeah, right.
And the
I mean,
monster
when the freaking monster's going over
them, yeah.
I mean, like, and you hear that. Honestly, that scene was kind of trippy, especially you feel like how
and it shows that like the egg sac.
Yeah.
I assume it's the female.
Yeah, and it's like the effects again really good, and
Yeah.
I mean you can just see like
I thought it was the junk.
you got glowing testicles, man. Get that checked out.
Yeah, there's something going on.
But they're all just sitting here, kind of like, oh shit,
Uh-huh.
just like, oh okay.
That was a really cool
We're
scene.
clear.
It was
and then all of
a
a sudden flaming train and like
suspenseful scene.
shit.
And I think Ford jumps off the bridge. It's a
Yep.
long jump. Wakes up.
Only survivor.
Only survivor. Everything's jacked up on the beach. Military picks him up because they're looking for the nuke. They pick up the nuke. And then they see and call for a medic. They see a guy walking towards them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Dun dun dun.
We could skip all the stuff in between the monster attacks.
Yeah, I mean, and
The
there's
good
more
parts.
talking.
Let's get to the
There's
monsters.
I mean, there's one part where it kind of like you build some character for Mr. Watanabe, where he talks about his grandfather.
Yeah, with the watch that stopped at the time the bomb dropped in Hiroshima. Yeah.
It's kind of like, honestly, that made me like his character even more. Like he's still going. You know what I mean? His character had more development than the Brodies for sure, except for Mr. Cranston.
Yeah.
Mr. Cranston's good.
Well, yeah, and then Ellie drops her kid off. She separates from her kid. She puts him on a bus.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Trying to
keep him
keep
safe. And he ends up on the bridge of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's going to crap because here comes the monsters.
Dun,
And I think it's Godzilla.
Godzilla starts making his way.
He's making his way in.
Godzilla's actually a female, I think.
I don't know.
Quick Google.
I don't want to say yes or no. Anyways, but Godzilla ends up taking out the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. He's just cruising, or she.
Oh.
What is it? Godzilla is a...
So, in his book, Godzilla co-creator Tomoyuki Tanaka suggested that the monster is probably male.
Okay. So we'll go with he.
And in American it releases a lot of... it's
based off of Tanaka saying that.
Yeah.
We'll go with he.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So, going on.
So, he knocks out the Golden Gate Bridge. Not after... But the bus driver of where Ford's son, Kick-Ass, son, was on the bus.
Son.
He's flooring it and taking off. All right, I'm getting out of here.
Huh.
And good thing he did, because that bridge gets jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The female... The EMPs go off.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the bad monsters are there. And the female male monster meet, and they're kind of doing lovey-dovey, like...
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Well,
they're straight up
they
like...
kind of kiss,
wah,
kind of thing.
wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
I think that's their way of transporting... Wait, does that mean his dick's in his mouth?
I hope not.
Dude,
I mean,
that
anything
sucks.
goes.
Yeah, it's a kaiju. Anatomy's different, and depending... I mean, according to Pacific Rim, the anatomy of a kaiju is they're so massive they have 2 brains.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Pacific Rim, who directed that? Rodriguez? No, not Rodriguez. Was it Rodriguez?
No.
Anyways, the guy who directed Guillermo del Toro,
Hells yeah.
the guy who directed Pacific Rim, was set to direct this. But because they were filming at the same time, he couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's, fun
Fair
little
enough.
fact. So for the paratroopers, they're going to jump into the city.
After he talks to Jared Kiso's character, the Jump Master.
That's true.
Which
Shorzy,
I didn't even recognize him for a second. Like,
Right.
looking up his videos, like, no way. Yeah, he's such a good actor.
So, did you catch the music in this scene?
No.
So they're going to jump out, and the music that's playing is Giorgi Ligeti's Requiem, which was used in the monolith scene in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Bum, bum,
No. It's the...
bum, bum. Oh, no.
It's like the voices yelling. I think it's when the apes are kind of coming up on the big monolith.
Oh, okay, so like the Latin chanting?
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know this song.
Oh, yeah!
What the heck?
I remember that.
And I looked it up. I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, they used it. And then the female monster lays eggs. Godzilla rolls in. Fights the monsters. It's fighting time.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome scenes going on. The awesome fight scenes and everything. And all the while, the soldiers are trying to figure out the nuke thing, and they're trying to get it to a boat. And they get it to the boat. And then the monster, what was it?
Mudo.
Mudo. One of the Mudos comes in and just bites the back half of the boat. Those soldiers are dead.
Yeah.
Nuke is still on there and it's still floating.
Yeah.
Mudo kills the other soldiers. But Ford's stuck behind to light the egg sack on fire.
Yeah.
So, and pissed off one of the monsters there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just literally barbecued its babies,
Yeah.
which I'd be pissed too.
So the Ford
I'm not
hops on the
getting into
boat,
that.
though.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to disarm this thing. And he just he can't get it open.
It's
All
just
right,
fine.
let's
Yeah.
go. Like, power starts coming back on because Godzilla kills one of them, I think.
He does, well, yeah, because this is the part where it's like, oh no, it looks like the all is lost moment, and Godzilla like got his butt kicked, and all of a sudden you hear the
Right.
and like the scales light up. Honestly, one of my favorite scenes because every single
Is this the fire breathing?
yeah, the
Okay.
first time. I love it because every single time when I hear that, it's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fire.
I can almost guarantee this was an amazing experience in theater with a good sound system, with the bass and everything. Oh, that would have been fun.
The sound. Oh, and the fun fact. So apparently, yeah. In some mythos, apparently they are literally just walking nuclear reactors, just radiation nonstop. And in other mythos, like Godzilla, that flame is just pure radiation. So anything near that, congratulations, it's radioactive.
Yeah.
You just got exposed to all the radiation.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know if you guys know. Comment again. Like I would like to, definitely learn more about this stuff.
So power starts coming back on in the city, and the boat starts up, and he sets the auto GPS because he's kind of conceded that, okay, I have to get this thing to set off and take them out to sea. This is my last option. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm saving the world though. That sort of thing.
And then he gets that set up, and then he goes to lay down to except for then Mudo number 2 comes up and did you see what this guy pulls out?
Who?
Johnson.
No, what?
Like when the Mudo comes up on, he pulls out a freaking pistol.
To shoot the
If
going down fighting, man.
Yeah, if I'm guessing this is the standard military pistol, it's either a 9mm or a 45.
Okay.
I don't think, from the looks of it,
He was an officer.
Yeah, so I don't think that pistol was a 1911 model. If it wasn't, it was more on. I don't know. If you guys know, again, comment. But he pulls out again a 9mm or a 45 against a freaking kaiju.
Right.
Kudos to him for having the huevos to.
That's what you do, man. You go down fighting. You don't just give up.
Instead of doing the other option, but he. I mean, when I saw the scene, part of me's like, all you're going to do is piss it off.
It's going to kill you either way.
Or tickle it, yeah.
Whatever.
But then, of course, God's one of the coolest scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Fire number 2. But choke on this, bitch.
Yeah, he rips his mouth open, right? And just spews fire.
Eat this, motherfucker.
Heck yeah.
Literally decapitates this thing by breathing fire down its mouth hole.
Yeah. No, that was a fantastic scene. I had to watch it a couple times. Like,
that is Mortal Kombat level fatality.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. In fact, I think Scorpion actually has one of those that as a fatality.
Kinda. He's got a fire breathe thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Again, comment.
There's 5 minutes left on the nuke clock. Air rescue comes and picks him up. And they took him out. And then nuke goes off. That's cool. I wasn't expecting. I figured he'd save the day.
Yeah.
I really like that. That's cool. The nuke went off. Ford reunited with the son, apparently. Yeah. They don't show the reuniting.
It just shows him like holding his son.
He has him.
Makes sense because like with all the stuff going on earlier, he helps a little Asian kid get back at his parents because of the whole separation.
Back in Hawaii.
Yeah. So they probably have like a system set up like, okay, last name, parent, like, show.
Okay,
proof. Yeah. So, and then mama hasn't made up and they're just sitting there and Mr. Johnson is with the kid and he's just kind of like, all of a sudden the kid gets up and he runs out and he's like, mommy.
Yep. Elle shows up. Yep.
Yeah. Miss Olsen shows up and, and then and then,
Godzilla wakes up.
Oh yeah. And then David's like, yeah, I'd call Miss Olsen mommy too. And then Godzilla wakes up, and if he's literally a giant thing of radiation, all those people near him, congratulations, you just got all the radiation too.
Well, I mean, what's cool is you kind of hear the crowd in the stadium where the Fords meet. Ford, whatever his last name is, I can't remember. Brody, right, from Jaws.
Yes.
There's a reference.
Yeah,
That's a reference, actually. The Brodies meet. You hear the crowd kind of start cheering.
Yeah.
Because Godzilla starts waking up. And they realize Godzilla saved us by killing these two things.
Oh, yeah.
And they let him go off and go into the ocean.
Yeah.
And that's where it ends.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, cue set up for King of the Monsters. Actually,
Monsterverse, yeah.
Yeah, which now makes sense. I don't know why I didn't sit there and think like, oh yeah, isn't Godzilla female? Because its title is literally referred to as King of the Monsters. Oh no, female can be king, right? I don't know. I'm not sexist.
I don't know. I don't care.
I'm a
Whatever.
feminist. Sure, let's go with that.
They're movies.
Yeah. It's fantasy. Enjoy it, motherfuckers.
Yeah. So what's your take on this movie?
Honestly, it's not a bad opening of. Sure.
For the 14, it starts the Monsterverse. Is that what you're saying?
It's a good opening. A lot of people. When I go on, it's like I want to see Godzilla. I want to see the big badass action sequences. But obviously that stuff doesn't happen till towards the end. You got to have the the drama, the action, the romance, the comedy,
right.
So they do. They do a good job of that. But as far as Godzilla, the actual badass monster, he doesn't come until I want to say
it's about an hour in.
Yeah. Well, even then, the actual fight sequence doesn't take place until the last 30 minutes of the film.
The big one, yeah.
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 So, which in some ways
he was going for why I mentioned Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was going for. Because Jaws starts off really slow, and it builds and builds and builds, and then you get everything towards the end.
Yeah. So honestly, it's good build up.
It was. I was interested the entire time.
Yeah. The payout for the build up it's worth it.
It is.
It's not one of those movies where you sit there and you sit through it, and the build up is not worth the payoff.
Right. This was. Yeah, it's worth it. If you want to give it a watch, if you haven't seen it, I'd say watch it and watch it the whole way through.
Especially because, it is definitely, I believe this is the start of the Monsterverse. Chronologically, this is the start of the Monsterverse franchise.
And we've been getting hit after hit now. They're all very popular. All these Godzillas. And then the Godzilla versus Kongs, and you got the Kongs and all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, they've been building off, the lore, the mythos, and stuff like that, which has created more lore and mythos, which, again, some of it the timelines might change because it's, as horror movie enthusiasts, best example is Halloween. That's on, 3 separate timelines?
Right, right.
But, again, it's and that's the other thing too. I think as a movie enthusiast that we enjoy is movies that have that. There's lore behind it.
Right.
There's actually history. Blair Witch, if you haven't watched, check out.
Yep, that's our last one. Yeah.
Yeah, which has a crap ton of lore.
It does.
Yeah, and same with Godzilla. It's a franchise that's been around for holy crap, nearly a century.
Yeah, and I feel like the kaiju universe, you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
There's no, there might not be an in between on it.
Yeah. But
I love it. I just don't know the lore of it.
Yeah. I dig it because, as a 90s kid, growing up, what do you think I watched? Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, sure.
So what is the two things I end up loving, growing up?
Uh-huh.
Big-ass robots, big-ass monsters.
Yeah.
And Godzilla, yeah. You know what? I even kind of enjoyed the 98 one, but that's because I was a kid and I watched it in theaters with my parents.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters too. Yeah. I didn't know what to think. I barely remember it from when I saw it.
I don't remember it. I just remembered enjoying that, having fun with my family.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily.
That sounds like a good experience.
Yeah. It was, so that's a result. And
what would you give this movie out of 10, though?
I'd definitely say I'll even throw in a little extra 8.5. Just because part of it is nostalgia.
We're close.
I watched. Especially because a lot of my experience with Godzilla and memory is with family.
Yeah, that's
the 98 Godzilla was female. That's why.
Oh, you're right. They got weird in the 98 one.
Yeah, I think that's where they.
It is not critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
But anywho,
What would you give it?
I give this an 8.
No.
Now, I've seen some of the older ones, the older Godzilla movies, not necessarily with Godzilla, but the Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay.
Those are the episodes I saw. And they were fun when I saw them with MST3K. And that's where I originally saw them. I didn't watch them without the MST3K riffing on it and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, they were fine. It was obviously 1950 in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, where the person's in a costume.
Yeah, where they're in the
Smile.
costumes and that sort of thing. And
But again, even
things
that-
have totally changed. I really like the direction it's moving
Oh,
and how it's gone. I really like them now.
No, I mean, like, it's one of the things this franchise definitely has is that nostalgia. I mean, it's a fun series.
It's fun to watch something where they were wearing zippers on the back, that sort of thing.
Again.
And now it's this huge CGI blowout.
Exactly. Again, like I said, growing up watching Power Rangers, the goofy costumes because they were inspired by the Sentai.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, literally, people in like the fight sequences, it's literally people in just these bulky costumes, like,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but now seeing like, because back then, well, as a kid, your imagination had to do a lot of that work. But now as an adult, you actually like it's the payoff again.
Yeah. I think we can end it there.
Yeah, well,
That gives it. I never give 10s, so
Oh, yeah.
not even in my favorite movie, it didn't get a 10 because my 10 might be coming still. Who knows?
yeah. I mean, like I said, I was definitely gonna lean towards 8, but the extra 0.5 was just the nostalgia with family. So
average is 8.25 out of 10.
yeah. So well, tell us what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, notify, etc.
Yeah. Don't miss next week.
Yeah, when we cover
The best twist endings to horror movies, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what we're hitting next week.
Yeah. So yeah, as always, stay demented.